Quaid Azam, Pot 389. These developments are consistent with the kind of bargaining strategy that Jinnah adopted at the time of the Lucknow Pact and subsequently. Note for a more detailed study of the dialogue that the author exchanged with Lloyd and Suzanne Rudolph, please read the appendix. That notwithstanding now 60-odd years after emerging as a new country, separated from India as a sovereign entity, Pakistan has evolved it now as a much greater and sharpened sense of its Pakistanness, a more enhanced consciousness of it being a distinctly separate country from India, and not just in the contradistinction to India, its induced and perpetual sense of hostility to India. Its hostility to India is now somewhat mellowed. It is more confident of itself, therefore, accommodative, and is now ready to accept a greater understanding of the many oneness and unities that bond India and Pakistan together. Or is it really ready? Dare I ask. However, sadly, even this land for Muslims has not been the end of a journey. Pakistan went further along the path of Islamic exclusiveness. It opted to become an Islamic state, and this after having already separated on grounds of Islam. The country then adopted Sharia as the foundational philosophy of its jurisprudence. From this to an acceptance of the apostasy as part of the law and the land as it was inevitable. Equally so then would become the transference of the responsibility for interpreting law from the courts of law to Maulvis in the mosque. Tragically, Pakistan chose terrorism as an instrument of the state policy to be employed as the tool of external aggression. However, Nemesis had to visit upon such policy planks. The malevolent energy of terror, but whatever the name you choose to call it, once unleashed, had to turn back upon its own creator and to begin devouring it. This has now converted Pakistan into an epicenter of the global terrorism. Sadly, therefore, Talibanization now eats into very vitals of Pakistan. None of this was a part of Jinnah's dream of either Muslims as a separate nation or that long sought after land of Pakistan. Professor Rosalind O'Hanlon has perceptibly observed that upon partition in 1947, Pakistan suffered also from disabilities inherited from the days of the Raj, Punjab having been from the 1860s to 1947 the garrison province of the colonial state. Its farmers, landlords nourished by the generous agrarian policies, its landlords unchallenged by the kind of the rural movement for social change that emerged elsewhere in India, encouraged by the Congress or Socialist parties. At independence, therefore, the most powerful institution in Pakistan was the army, and in the wider society, the powerful landed classes, and that is what has remained largely not just in Punjab, but in reality in the whole of Pakistan. It is also ironic in the extreme that Pakistan, midwifed by the West as a strategic outpost to safeguard their own interests today, or more than 60 years after partition, be for them the West, a fearsomely chaotic, dangerous country posing the greatest challenge to their West security. And this metamorphosis is not a consequence of any one factor alone, like Islamic terrorism, though currently that is most frequently cited. On the contrary, it is a compendium of many accumulated grievances, a deep sense in the minds and the hearts of the citizens of Pakistan that they have repeatedly betrayed, wronged continuously decade after decade since 1947 by the West. Also often by India. It is this that has made Pakistan not a strategic outpost of the Western interest, but in reality a great threat to the West.